I'm pleased with my readings.
Why doesn't the studio have a chat monitor? We're working on it.
Yeah. In fact, it does. It's the same as the prompt monitor.
We're just getting the chat on there.
You good?
We're done.
Paul, did you do those as 2 separate files, or was that all one file?
It's all one file.
Okay, cool. So I can skip ahead.
Yep.
Oh, 2019 minus 1995 is 24, not 15.
I can redo that.
Do we want to redo one more? Do we want to redo Bijou's story
I'm
then?
fine with redoing a story if we want to get the numbers right. Because I literally say 1995 and then I say 15. And in my head, the math all worked.
Heather, never mind.
Hang on a sec.
Devin Beige saying the word 24. Could we just get a recording of 24 and then just have the lip flaps not match?
I mean, lip flaps not matching is easy to do. If you want me to match,
Matching is the hard part.
24. 24. I will reread that story. I don't mind that.
All right, one more time. You ready?
Just about. Scroll backwards to the thing.
And Chad, I'm going to just use Graham's voice for 24.
Like I even knew it wasn't like 15. I was like, well, 14, 15, whatever. It's fine.
all of Beach with
But yeah, 24. Cool.
Okay.
It's the first story.
Recording again.
All right.
Here we go.
Nintendo is making VR entertainment again. This time, rather than limit themselves to the gauche materials of metal and plastic and oscillating curved mirrors, they're taking a more down-to-earth approach through the welcoming medium of cardboard. Labo VR is Nintendo's new kid in the Labo series, signaling Nintendo's intention to bring VR play to the masses. Or at least to the masses of people who already own a Switch and have the basic motor skills to assemble origami. Despite being made of cardboard, it's already expected to be an improvement over their last virtual experience, the Virtual Boy, the infamous tabletop-mounted console that shot red LED light directly into the headache center of the brain. Nintendo's clearly learned a lot since then, having iterated multiple times on handheld devices, on 3D viewing with the 3DS, and in fine-tuning motion controls, starting with the Wii. So taking a tiny step into VR with fun-looking papercraft, rather than jumping in with both feet to a still nascent market, is textbook Nintendo. Congrats, Nintendo! All it took you to improve upon your 1995 experiment into VR was another 24 years of product development, a pivot into raw packing materials, and the courage to accept that everyone looks like a doofus with VR goggles on their face, so who cares if it looks like you're staring into a duck's cloaca?
So Beige took a dramatic pause before he said 24 years, and I was like, oh!
Am I going to end up reading it and forget I have to change it?
Yeah, I was afraid. There was that brief pause, and I was like, oh no.
Please, I'm a professional.
We're good now?
Yes.
Still same file, or?
No, it's a different file.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, Heather.
And I mean, hell, if you're doing editing, feel free to listen to both and figure out which ones are better.
If you say the wrong information in one, I can't use the other one.
Well, you have to.
You want me to?
You have to use my new
voice?
one. But Kathleen's initial read of Coming Up, she said Dark Lord, and in the second read she said Lord Dark. So if you want to swap out the Coming Up, you can do that too. We haven't saved you any time, since you have to edit anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's up to you to decide how you want to see this go down, I guess.
I mean, it's Heather, so flames.
She did this shit, which...
Yeah. If you say, how do you want this to go down, Heather will be like,
Oh.
the trail of smoke that you'll be able to see for miles around.
She likes fire. Oh my God. So much.
You have a fireplace at your place, don't you?
We do have a fireplace at our place. It is, we were told we moved in, we were technically allowed to use it.
What do you mean technically?
Right? What the hell does that mean?
Like they actually use the word technically?
I think our the property manager was like, that fireplace works and you're technically allowed to use it.
But don't? Was this?
No, he didn't even say that. He was just like, it works and you should be able to use it. So if you want to use it, there's nothing holding you back from doing it. So technically you can use it. And I was like, that sounds like a clear, you're better off not.
Yeah.
You can, but maybe you don't want to do that if you're not used to having a, and it's a wood-operated fireplace. Like, it's not even a gas fireplace.
Oh,
So
proper fireplace.
we'd have to bring in wood and stuff, and I'm just
And
like,
kindling.
I don't want to.
Just buy the Presto logs.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a nice fire if we wanted to. And I guess if we really needed to, if we need to do a scene where we need a real fireplace, I have a real fireplace.
So I switched the lights onto a slower, hopefully what should be a slower mode. So hopefully that is a little nicer.
Now we're in lounge mode.
Our wood fireplace is uncommon in Victoria.
No, they're highly common.
Yeah, they're pretty common, but in houses, which
Yeah.
a lot of us don't live in because that's for rich people.
I live in an apartment.
I live in an apartment.
Yeah.
Paul, where do you live?
Also, well, a condo, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, my building's a condo building now. but
Yeah,
I mean,
so is mine, but
But I'm pretty sure that everybody on the fourth floor got fireplaces.
I was going to say the
Top
trick with the
floor.
I was going to say the trick with the fireplace is the person above you.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm on the fourth floor of a 20-floor building.
Yeah.
I feel like the person above me would object to me having a fireplace.
Absolutely.
Cursor on the TV.
so what I'm hearing this
Fine.
year
Fine.
is Cam and Ian's Christmas is at Bijou and Heather's place. No,
No, it's here
it's here.
where we can have a virtual fire that's way easier to control.
There.
And what's the difference between a condo and an apartment? You live in an apartment that you and the bank own, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And condos,
Because people also refer to townhouse, a condo is something that you
A condo you own, yeah.
in association with the strata council.
yeah, which is, yeah.
Well, I mean, and it's like my build, I don't own, I rent my thing, but my building is a condo
Yeah.
building. I just rent it from the person who does own it.
Yeah. And then some
here.
buildings let you do rentals and some don't.
Yeah.
So it's all very different.
The
So-
bylaws where we live, in fact, are even this is an 18-plus building.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And how they did that is they said that you were not permitted to have any children under the age of 16 here for more than 30 days at a time.
Okay, so you can have your family visit and stuff,
Yes.
but you can't. Isn't that age discrimination?
The
I mean-
condo board sets the rules for what they're willing to have, and it's they're not saying that
It's-
no children are allowed. They're just saying children can't be in the building for more than 30 days
Children
Like
at
can't
a
live
time.
there.
that, like that is age discrimination.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
legal
Yeah.
age discrimination, I
Which
guess.
I thought was great because it basically means that if you are given a kid, maybe you're sharing custody, right? So you're sharing
If a
custody.
kid just,
a
is
kid
given
appears.
to you.
But it's
as
if you're
a
sharing
prize
custody,
or
it's
something.
you can have the kid for 2 weeks or a month or whatever, but after 30 days, that kid has to go. And I'm kind of so if we have a kid at some point, that means that
You have to move.
no, it just means that
To move a month after it's born.
every 30 days we just have to take the child out
And then
for
put
a night
put a different wig on the kid.
and then bring it
and then
back
bring it
after
back
30
in.
days.
It's brilliant.
Yes. So every 30 days, everyone gets a night off from hearing our child scream. Yeah.
Huh.
No plans to have kids yet. Stop asking.
Yeah. That's very strange. I don't know. There's a few buildings like that in Victoria.
Yeah.
Usually they're cheaper to buy in because they have the age restrictions, right? It basically means that
They're usually 40 plus or 55 plus or something,
yeah, there's some there was some townhouses that I was like, oh my god, I want to live there, and they're like, it's 18 plus, and I was like, well, nope.
Not going to do that.
That's why it's so cheap,
Yeah.
right? Because the kind of people who want a 3-bedroom townhouse usually have children,
Yeah. It's true.
right?
All right, so let's talk about. Do you want
You
to
bet.
still have this?
Yeah. I
Uh,
guess I could use my phone too, but yeah.
so yeah, let's talk about the stories that we talked about and also that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
The first story, of course, is I'll spare you my biannual complaints about daylight savings, but I will say though, this is I mentioned this before, but my favorite thing about daylight savings now is because of the whole North America and the rest of the world
Yeah.
are 2 weeks off
Yeah.
for daylight savings. So we're in this weird area right now where we're on daylight savings, but but a lot of places aren't.
Yeah.
There is one place in the world that shifts 1 week, like in between the 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. I've
And
heard
they
of
shift
this.
by 2 hours.
What?
Rather
Where
than
is
one-
this?
Australia.
No.
Damn.
Somewhere in the South Pacific?
It is the Antarctic Research Station in Troll, Alaska.
Ooh.
Or Troll and not Alaska, but
Good. I was a little
the
concerned.
Troll. Yeah, the Troll Research Station, which is just perfect
Yeah,
for me. Yeah,
really. That's really good.
But anyway, daylight savings is dumb. But anyway,
I,
thanks for joining us, and maybe some shows are slightly more convenient for you for these 2 weeks.
Time is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I like daylight savings because I get more hours after I'm done work of light, which is very important if you get seasonal affective disorder. So I'm all for it. Daylight savings it up. Daylight savings time all year if you want to take the time change away.
I actually saw a thing that apparently there's been a proposal in BC for.
To just leave us one step ahead and
Well,
just
because
forget
the
about
thing
it.
is, we'll only do it if Washington State and Portland and Portland and California do it because there's so much. We're so entrenched with them, particularly. Like there's more people going back and forth across that border than going between Alberta and British Columbia.
There's mountains in the way.
So they're like, if they're all going to move to permanent DST, we will too.
Yeah.
Because that's why they're like, we're not changing the clocks unless the Americans change the clocks. We're too tied together.
Yeah, and there's too many people down south for us to say we're going to go first.
Yeah.
Though I could see us going first and then have Washington be like, shit, we should do the same thing. Who cares? It's rainy all year round here anyway. So
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. What were we talking about? The Nintendo Labo VR.
it's just okay. I didn't see this coming at all, but I
No,
love the idea that it's a toy.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense
Yeah.
as a thing to do. It sort of fulfills the same thing where with the Labo, where I feel like the Labo stuff is just basically the Nintendo engineers like looking at a Wii and a pile of cardboard, or looking at a Switch and a pile of cardboard and just like coming up with as many different weird things as they can.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is similar to like the Google Cardboard and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Which I didn't reference in the story and tried to, but I realized it didn't. It would just belabor it. But
what is the resolution of a Switch?
720p handheld.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be very good resolution in for
Yeah.
3D stuff.
It's definitely not the kind of like it beats the hell out of like some other earlier 3D stuff. It beats the hell out of like the 3D quality of the Virtual Boy, which was
Well, they've had 25 years to get it to make it better.
yeah
15 or 25 years.
yeah. However you do your calculations.
Yeah, depending on whether you're on daylight savings or
Yeah,
not.
exactly. So that's
Beige light savings
yeah.
time.
I was just happy that I'm like their approach to it is, you know what, it's a toy. It's an experience that people want to have, as opposed to we want to do all of our gaming here, and for them to say, why don't we just make toys? Why don't we just see how people enjoy doing it, and we can sell that, and then see how many people are into it. And if people are really into it, it's like, okay, well then we can work on that for the next run.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they actually, it gets to the point where they have the confidence to make like a real game, not
Yeah.
just like a Labo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about?
Harry Potter.
It's Pokemon Go again. There's nothing else to talk about next. Like, it's true.
It feels weirdly cynical. Well, we were talking earlier that it's
Yeah.
like, it's like people who like Pokemon and people who like Harry Potter, that Venn diagram is damn near a circle, I have a feeling. Like, it's a fairly large thing. And I'm like, so if you're playing one already, then you're probably not going to play the other. But if you're not playing Pogo, why would you have decided that, it's time to get into Harry Potter version of Pogo?
And it's
So they must be
Now,
throwing a ton of money at Niantic.
some of the stuff that they've talked about with it does sound kind of like it's going to be more sort of more like AR stuff.
Right.
Oh, the thing that everybody turns off in Pokemon
Yeah,
Go.
I was going to say, a lot of the stuff they're talking about sounds a lot like the stuff that they were talking about when they were demoing Pokemon Go that never really panned out the way that we were hoping.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
I do.
It's like you'll be able to go to like the wand store and get a wand,
If they-
except it'll be all AR.
If you want to be really like cynical about it, rather than running like and Ingress and then Pokemon Go and then the Harry Potter one and having 3 different sets of games for it, it's like they're all the same game. They're all just the same game, same engines, everything's happening at the same time. But depending on what app you're viewing it in, it's a different thing going on. So when you go do like a raid in Pogo, somebody else sees you doing that raid, but if they're using the Harry Potter skin, they're seeing you like fight a fucking Dementor or whatever the hell it is that they're doing.
Literally it's all just happening at the same time.
It's all just the same game, and it's all the same things happening, but everyone has a different skin on how they look at the world. And then it's like, do you play Pogo? No, but I play
There's like
the Harry Potter, I play Ingress. It's like, fine, we can all be friends, whatever.
I like the idea that it's like there's like a Pikachu, but then like the Harry Potter one person looks at it and it's like Neville.
Yeah. Better capture that Neville. Also, you can be, it's not just 3 teams anymore. Now you can be in 4 different houses, I bet. Or maybe all the houses in like North America will be included as well, and all the houses, who fucking cares? I don't give a shit.
There's a Twitter account that tells you about good dogs. Well, tells you when you can pet good dogs,
Yeah.
which is excellent.
Yeah.
And
That
it's-
reminded me of, I had a game for the Wii called A Boy and His Blob, which was the like spiritual
Yeah.
sequel, I guess, of the original one. And
Can you pet the blob?
you can pet the blob. There's literally they hardwired a button in the game to hug the blob. And the blob is very cute, and so is the avatar. And so it's like, the boy hugged the blob, it's very nice, you can do that. That's the only good thing about that game.
Oh,
The rest of the game is
I remember the like original
kind of
one being kind of
boring.
cool.
Yeah, it was real cool, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't really know what you're doing. You have a limited number of beans. In this, you have all the beans you need to finish a level, and it's tiny little levels, and it's kind of a puzzle platformer thing, and it's kind of boring, and it's the same thing over and over. And I was just like, Anyway,
Why would you not? If you spend all the effort to put a dog in your game,
Yeah.
Why not allow people to pet it? That's just all I'm saying.
right?
I was actually my thing in because one of the things they mentioned is in Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
there are dogs that you cannot pet, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
This is I haven't played Odyssey, but in Origins anyway, there's dogs that you can't pet, but there are cats also, and you cannot actively pet the cat, so it might not actually fulfill this person's things.
Right.
But if you walk near a cat and crouch and just stays perfectly still, if the cat walks over to you, you'll start petting him. Your character will start petting him. As soon as you move or do anything, you stop petting him and go away, and the cat walks
Wow.
away. But as long if you go near a cat, crouch and stand still, and you're lucky enough that a cat comes over to you, you will start petting it.
So assassins are just afraid of dogs.
I guess.
They just don't want to touch a dog. Okay. Neat.
The danger though is that you can get into they'll actually sometimes start following you, which is super cute. But the problem is the places where an assassin goes are kind of dangerous. It's very easy to get your cats killed.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So that's
Wow.
not so good.
No, exactly.
You're like, no, cat, don't follow me. I can't. Where I'm going, you can't go. I'm going through like poisonous water and fire and stuff. All right, and Diablo 1 is on GOG,
Yep.
and apparently Diablo 2, or sorry, Warcraft 1 and 2, like Warcraft Orcs and Goblins, or Humans and Orcs. Orcs and Humans? Whatever it's called, the original Warcraft
Oh,
that
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
that no one remembers.
Yeah.
And also Warcraft 2, the one that everyone
Does
likes.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orcs versus humans, yeah. Those are both going to be also on GOG. Certainly the Warcraft 2 I have.
Doesn't Blizzard have its own store?
Well, this is the weird thing. Not only do they have their own, like there's the Battle.net store where they sell Destiny, like they sell non-Blizzard games even.
Right.
But for some reason they decided their own legacy games are going to be on the GOG store, which in some ways makes sense. Like if you're looking for a legacy, like an older game, GOG is usually the first place you would go. But
I mean, it's fair. Like knowing that Diablo's available this way now, I'm more likely to go to GOG and be like, because I have an account there, and that takes the friction out of having to go get a Battle.net account and doing all that other stuff just to get a copy of that game.
what's great is as well as so as well as 640 by 480 at 20 frames per second, which is what the original game ran at. The classic mode also you also like get match made with like a special like basically they use like a classic version of BattleNet to hook you up and matchmaking.
Cool. Okay.
But then there is also like a Windows 10 updated version where you can like actually go at the full resolution of your screen instead of like a little squinty thing. Although of course none of the sprites are any bigger. So
it's just a massive field.
So it's a massive field with like your little dude in the middle.
Is it at least faster than 20 frames a second?
I would hope so.
Okay.
Although I guess the people are probably like you wouldn't
not
want the guy.
animating
You
any
wouldn't want the
better.
guy to be like.
No, exactly. I just thought as long as everything felt smooth, as long as I didn't feel like I was looking at only 20 frames, but whatever. That's cool. That's really neat.
And all right, so that was what we talked about. There's the Valve people gaming the system,
Yeah,
too.
but it was just
Which is just more issues with gaming the system with Valve. You know, the competition. You know, speaking of GOG, competition in gaming stores seems like a solid idea. Although I've seen people talking about like the Epic Store and that it's sort of somebody else big moving into the area.
Yeah.
If I was Steam, I would not be afraid of the Epic Store, at least not right now.
Yeah.
No.
Like you literally can't search. Like they don't have a search function.
So you just click on you have to browse.
Yeah, because they only have like 30 games in it right now.
Okay. Well,
There's like little squares. You just kind of scroll down. So it's got a ways to go.
they've added a search function, says Dured.
hooray!
Oh, really?
Version 2.0.
Wow.
But on the other hand, the Epic Store just gives you free games every 2 weeks. So
Does it?
That's something to be. There's something to be said for that. Just
Yeah.
buy customers.
That's fair.
All right, what didn't we talk about?
We didn't talk about.
I have to get going in a few minutes because I've got a thing
That's fair.
3:30 and I want to eat before by Law and Order session 9 tonight, by the way. Starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. Don't miss the beginning.
H1Z1, H1Z1.
Yeah.
Has renamed themselves yet again.
Yeah, so
To
they're
what?
in a lot of ways they could be called like one of the OG like
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale games. I mean, there's probably lots of discussion about what is them, but they were they were really big before PUBG was big.
Yeah.
And I
In
believe
doing a Battle Royale
Brendan
thing.
Green worked on
Yeah.
H1Z1. Or I'm sorry, what's it called now?
Now it is called what is it called now? So they split it off into two. Now it's called Z1 Battle Royale, Z1 Battle Royale.
Wow.
Yeah, so they split it off into two parts. One called King of the Kill, which was the Battle Royale thing.
Yeah.
And then another one called Just Survive, which was survival MMO.
Okay.
The Just Survive part apparently didn't do very well. The
So-
King of the Kill still was their most popular thing.
Right.
Sort of like Fortnite had that as the like thing, but obviously neither side has been doing that well. But they decided to be like, okay, let's just tell people what they're getting.
Yeah.
It's Z1 Battle Royale.
Let's drop the allusion to like bird flu.
Yeah, that's the thing. is, like,
H1N1.
The
right?
H1N1 thing, I'm kind of like, I can understand why, because it's like, I don't think anyone cares or
That
understands
act-
the reference
It
anymore.
actually killed people, so it's in kind of poor taste.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But at least it kind of quantifies the thing. It's like, this is about a virus that turns people into zombies. Okay, cool. But nobody cares about that part. All they care about is, can I shoot people?
And can I shoot people and loot things and be in a circle that is slowly going smaller?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the real kicker there.
Yeah.
What else do we talk about?
So
Or think about talking about?
Anthem, having a few growing pains. And one of the things that they were just dealing with this week is that somebody did some tests and realized that because of the way that they were doing scaling,
Yeah.
like enemy scaling, the starting weapons are more powerful than any other weapon in the game.
That's
Yes,
a
I did read about
complicated
that.
concept, though. The idea.
Except so basically, it basically means that the numbers that were popping up, like when you shoot a guy, like a number pops up showing you how much damage, were complete lies.
Ah.
Well, sort of lie.
Okay.
Basically, not only was the damage, the damage that enemies could take before they died, was scaling with the weapon that, not just your level, but also the weapon you were using to fight with.
Interesting.
And so you would have like the best gun in the game. It would do like 15,000 damage per hit.
Right.
But when you were shooting with that gun, the guy had 60,000 life.
Right, so it's 4 shots or whatever to kill
But
him.
when you use the easy weapon, the weakest weapon in the game, it only does like 100 damage. But the guy only has
400 life.
400.
So
the
it's
guy
4
has way
shots
less.
to kill.
Yeah. So anyway, basically, it's like less shots to kill when you're using the dumbest gun in the game.
Right.
They kind of messed up the scaling.
Interesting idea, though, huh?
So they've acknowledged that. I think they're pushing out either have or are about to push out a patch to deal with it, but they're obviously trying to balance this like scale so that you don't feel weak,
Yeah.
but also that
The better
Anthem-
weapons mean something.
and Anthem already has a problem with like being super stingy with its loot
Yeah.
for like in the after game stuff. So it's not so good.
Right.
Artifact. I mean, we talked briefly. There was a horrible game called Rape Day on Steam that's been taken down because it was super inappropriate. You could look it up for yourself if you want to read about something horrible.
That story is mostly interesting because Steam has been going back and forth and tying themselves in knots about what their
standards are.
what their
actually.
adult content policy. They keep going, it's fine. Everything we're going to be totally hands off. And then something will come in, they're like, okay, we have to actually take that away.
Yeah.
And people are like,
Well,
so are you hands off or what?
Yeah.
They're like, well, we're hands off except when we want to not be.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, that's not a very useful strategy for people who are producing games that may be adult oriented but not horrible.
I feel
Want
like
to feel confident that they can put stuff out there.
Absolutely.
I feel like there's a line between sexy games between consenting adults and what this game was, which was literally the opposite of that.
Right.
But
I guess the point is that Valve has not
their policy is whack-a-mole.
been very clear about what that line is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
And-
hands off until we think you're trying to push your luck, says Larrington, which might be actually the most accurate read on it.
Part of that, I mean, and the thing is like...
Or hands off until someone important notices.
Well,
Sorry, Beej.
kind of also feels like there's the Valve stance is like, we don't want to get involved and we don't want to have to tell people what they should play and what they don't play. But that also comes with it then, people are going to come along and say, well, I'm making this game that is like this. And then they have to be like, well, we have to make a choice.
And it's very reactive to like what Valve will do is they'll like take down a game and everyone will be like, but that's a game that has sexy stuff in it, but it's a really positive game about LGBT issues and stuff, and they're like, okay, well we'll be hands off then, and then something else will come out and be like, okay, we got to stop that, and but they keep going back and forth and not actually making a useful policy. Speaking of Valve,
Artifact. Apparently, Richard Garfield has left Valve, and Artifact is not doing all that well.
it seemed like a cool game from what I heard about it. But it's
just
apparently
think it's
super tanked.
There were so many people lined up at
It's like
PAXs to play it.
97.5% of the player base is gone.
Well, here's the deal. A game like that really needs a self-sustaining player base to function, no matter how good it is. And it's just a very crowded market. You've got Hearthstone, and more importantly, what a terrible time to launch it just as Arena sort of drags, and very successfully drags Magic the Gathering into the digital age.
Yeah.
Right? So just a bad time. Because people are already checking out Arena.
Yeah.
Like, how much space do they have for digital card games?
And if your choices are free to play, free to play, free to play,
Buy-in.
you're not going to get as much traction as you want. And people were hoping that it would be something that's like, I'll buy in, but then I'll own my cards and I'll have been bought in. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Not enough people.
Pokemon Go is testing to have new lunchtime raids.
That's when everybody raids anyhow.
Well, but
now they're coordinated.
my issue with this is that so they're saying between 12 and 1, they're going to have like special, increase the drop rates of different things and have more guys show up. Which what I object to is we here at Loading Ready Run
Yeah.
often are like 11 till 9 streaming.
Yep.
So our lunch is like 3.
Yeah. And when
So
it's-
I object to this idea that lunchtime has to be noon till 1.
Yeah, we should. If we put all our phones in like the Tuvalu time zone,
Ah, there you go.
then we will be able to go out and have a pogo raid in Victoria.
I feel
That
like
is not in Tuvalu.
I feel like they might be able to pick up on that, considering it's all GPS.
It's like you seem to be cheating. You know, it's like, no shit.
And finally, I mean, we've done stories about like this before, but holy crap, the Division 2.
Not the dog shooting thing.
No.
No.
The Division 2, I hope you have a lot of space, because if you bought it and have the disc, you still need 100 gigabytes on your PS4.
That's ludicrous.
Or
That's
50
so much space.
Or 50 gigabytes on your PC or Xbox.
Oh wow.
That's so big. People are just
to-
like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really do the PSA as part of the show, unfortunately, but yeah, be prepared.
No.
And I think there's like a 40 gigabyte first day one download or
Oh, is
something.
there?
It's yeah.
I mean, I
50
wasn't planning
gigs
on
is the
playing it
day
anyways.
one patch.
The
What's on the disc? Is it just an IOU TXT file?
yeah. It's just the disc is just the thing that's like, this guy's cool.
Yeah.
Give him the stuff.
It says format your hard drive.
It's just a command that deletes all your other games to
exactly.
free up space.
The apparently like the reason why all these things are always bigger on the PS4 also, but it just happens to be the way the PS4 is architectured. It can't install off this, like it needs
Yeah.
twice this. Once you actually install it, it can delete the thing, but
Yeah.
it needs twice the space because it downloads it and then installs it,
Yeah.
whereas the Xbox can stream it and
Yeah.
stuff. So anyway,
There was I know it's 3. There was another story I saw, but I didn't put in the thing, and it's about Masahiro Sakurai having to, I shouldn't say having to, putting himself on an IV drip when he was developing Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yeah.
Because he was like, so I was getting stomach issues, and they're like, yeah, that happens, you know, like, because he like worked
you
himself
did
to
this,
the bone.
people. You who are saying to put things in Smash.
But it was this idea that put an IV drip in Smash, put fluids in Smash, and he
Yeah.
was having these troubles, and he was like, I got to the point where I was quite sick, and I probably should have gone to the hospital. And it's like, it sounds like you should have. He's like, I just, you know, I got an IV drip, and I went back to work. And then people were like, and the person interviewing was like, why? And he's like, well, I'm a freelancer.
What?
Yeah, because Sakurai does not work for Nintendo. He has his own company, and his company works for Nintendo to develop Smash Brothers and also Kirby games. But that's something I didn't know, is that he's a freelancer, and it's kind of like, holy shit. If that's what's expected of freelancers in Japan, I'm glad I live over here. We're working freelance. If I get sick, I should stay home so I don't get anyone else sick.
Yeah.
Not have to plug in and share my IV drip.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
yeah, sharing your IV drip
mean-
is the easiest way to get other people sick, I feel like.
Yeah. Put Sakurai's health in Smash. Christ. Thanks for the raid from Ben, by the way, that came in
Yeah.
right where we were talking about that. I didn't want to interrupt. But speaking of interruptions, I have to go soon.
All
And
right.
so let's do the subs.
Let's sub welcome.
Yeah.
Let's welcome our subbles.
Let's thank everybody who is supporting us on the Patreon or on Twitch, but in particular, these people who subscribed during the stream, starting with Orgmastron.
Orgmastron?
Orgmastron.
Ooh, I like that. I like it better than Orgasmatron. The Rob Awesome is a new sub. Welcome.
And it's your friend and mine, Mini Chi, who's a new sub but an old name. I've seen their name before.
Razpor. Rispor. It's a new subscriber.
Welcome, Oatway, who's been here for 8 months.
And Batten, who's been batting for 27 months.
The Moat Man is a new subscriber, and also a name that I've seen before.
Ghost of a Coffee Cup, back for their 9th month. Congrats on your sub, Babby.
We've got a
coffee
few of
cup.
those around the office, I think.
And hey, it's Jeff Centaur, who's been here for 13 months. Jeff Centaur. He's half man, half horse, and all Jeff.
Coop Dog 22 or Co-op Dog 22 for 19 months.
Oh, welcome back, Unbound Laconicity. who's been here 61 months, a lot of months there.
Torpor 120 for 20 months. Ooh, wait till they get to 120 months.
Yeah.
Gold Heartache 56 for 16 months. Sounds like a song.
It does,
Gold
doesn't it?
Heartache.
Gold Heartache, yeah. Tomasu82, back for their 30th month. Welcome back.
And Slurpee E, who's been here for 31 months. Hooray!
Lord Hosk for 43 months. Thank you very much.
Ard Riz is a new subscriber. Welcome.
And Koizum has been here for 44 months. Hearing their name pronounced like that.
Jbeck Fox for 1 whole year. Thank you.
Raneko is here for 48 months. That's 4 years.
And GamerCat88 is a brand new subscriber.
Space Potato for 44 months. Flying through space as a potato.
Garquithnik. Good name. That was real tough. Garquithnik, welcome to the channel.
Sounds like a Kathleen name.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like something I'd come up with. Beppis. Linen, which is not something I came up with, but I stuck it into the campaign to see if I could kill Ian on the stream.
It worked. It was good.
Kendrake Nine-Tailed. Cool. New subscriber. Welcome.
Blue Mage 76, back for your 30th month. Thank you.
Ooh, it's Underhill33. They're a brand new subscriber.
Linderkins for 2 months. Welcome back.
Gogcom. Gifted by the Maricat. Thanks, Maricat. Welcome, Gog.
And Tajisa, who's been here for 28 months.
Going medium. It's like going big, but, just more
Not
relaxed.
being too ostentatious. And thanks for the 251 bits from Masta2505, Earthen1, the Maricat, and Zanto69. Duh bits, duh bits, duh bits.
So please join us, or I'll join me, in just about 2 hours, just under 2 hours, for session 9 of By Law and Order. And if you're like, what's By Law and Order? Christ, I've talked about it every week for probably the last 6 weeks, as soon as I got confident enough to talk about it, which was about a month after it started. But that's okay. Please go check it out. It's a campaign we're doing on the official D&D channel. It's about sausage regulations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super, super good. And it's coming down the home stretch. Not too many signatures left.
Today
No.
and next week.
Yeah, 2 sessions remain.
Because thank Christ, because if that's running very, very close to Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo.
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll be at, the two of us, and also Graham and Ian. There'll be a live session of Late Night Dub Fight, and
And a live session of the panelists. Woo, how cool will that be? Hopefully very.
It's all right.
If it's not, tell people it was cool.
then after that we'll also be at,
Let's all agree now that it's cool.
Yeah, it's
okay?
just cool. Just show up and be cool, everybody. Be cool. And we'll also be at PAX East in Boston the week after that. So thank you very much. That's my sale.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you in a little bit.